And I am joined now by Dan Chuba from Burbank, California. He's actually the CEO of Legacy Classics Entertainment. Hi there, Dan. How are you?
Good, thank you. Nice to be with you.
Nice to be with you. Tell us, what is your impressions as to why U.S. Broadway and theater is suffering?
You know, it's interesting that you use the word it's not really suffering as a business. It actually had a record-setting year in terms of box office. Broadway made over $1.5 billion for the first time ever. 45 different shows open, and I think only 15 of those were actually musicals. However, musicals tend to dominate because those are the ones that people want to see. Hamilton is, you know, fantastic theater, and it's a musical, and it dominates the news. But there are other shows going on there. So I sort of argue with the premise that it's actually suffering.
All right. How would you compare what's going on in New York compared to China's theater scene?
Well, China's the forms, the theatrical forms are quite different. So although in the early days they actually come from the same place, which is they're originally based on religious and shamanistic ritual. Around the 10th and 12th centuries, they started to diverge and become refined into what we know today. And they're sort of like coming back together in a way. So the show that you mentioned in your report, Lion King, actually relies on some of the techniques of Eastern theater, which are music, mime, acrobatics, dance, and even martial arts. Where traditionally Western theater is more spoken, less chanted or sung, and is typically based on current literature, let's say, or intellectual themes, where Eastern theater has more to do with historical dramas, and still today in China, it's common to have a 400-year-old story retold and retold and retold.
Right. It seems like that seems to be the success in the United States right now is these commercially driven musicals that people are familiar with. Why